in terms of progress. The Senate has yet to vote specifically on the Employment Non-Discrimination Act, but they have taken a number of test cases that are procedural votes, I should say, that are give an indication as to whether or not it's going to pass. And it looks set to pass in the Senate. What the Employee Non-Discrimination Act does is it bans discrimination in the workplace for companies with 15 or more employees, I should say, based on sexual orientation or gender identity. In other words, you can't be fired if you're gay. You can't be fired if you're transgender. The fascinating thing, there's been polling. Now, I think in about 21 states across the country, this is already the law of the land. We're looking for a federal ban on this type of discrimination. Fascinating polling on this. 50% of Americans favor a law banning workplace discrimination against gays and lesbians, while 42% oppose, according to a HuffPost U-Government poll. Democrats, as you would imagine, are more likely to support this provision than Republicans. But what's genuinely interesting about this is that only 13% believe that such discrimination is legal now. In other words, 69% of Americans, and some don't know, think that it's already illegal to fire someone simply because they're gay. So the law here is well behind what public opinion thinks it should be and thinks it is. It's fascinating. We have several exemptions in this law, some of which I guess are okay. Others, some of which I think are legally more founded. I find them morally repugnant, frankly, and some of which I think go too far. 22 states, like I said, have their own statutes that prohibit discrimination in hiring based on sexual orientation. 18 of those include sexual identity. As you know, Title VII of the Civil Rights Act already prohibits employment discrimination on the basis of your race, your religion, your gender, your national origin, age, and disability. There's been attempts to pass this bill since 1974. This includes exemptions for churches and religious institutions, which I think, you get into some legal issues in terms of the Constitution on, I guess, if there's a religion that says gays are bad, you're imposing someone else's religious beliefs on them. But for places like hospitals that are not religious institutions, that are simply owned by religions, it seems to me that if you want to operate in Caesar's world and operate businesses that are not about your church or your synagogue or your mosque, if you deign to operate businesses in Caesar's province, then Caesar's law must prevail.
So you admit that Obama's government is that of Caesar.
Right, of course.
The truth emerges.
Oh, yeah, and I'm not the only one. In a moment, I'll play you some sound, which I think proves it. But John Bonaire is unlikely to bring this up in the House. He says that ENDA's aims are already accomplished by current law, but of course he won't say what that law is. He worries that including sexual orientation and gender identity as a protected class would lead to more frivolous litigation and lost jobs. Of course, we're seeing zero evidence of that in the 22 states that already have those provisions. 97% of companies on the Fortune 500 also have policies saying that we won't discriminate against people for being gay. I mean, this is the 21st century. It really is stunning. But this, of course, won't pass.